Hey, what's up, everyone? NitRake here from nitrake.com, and I'm going to be doing a comprehensive review of SkillBet. SkillBet is a brand new site that, as of this recording, just came out a week ago. It's the first ever truly legal site for American players since Black Friday. So I'm very excited about this, and I went ahead and deposited it a few days ago, and went ahead and tried it out, and I've been playing for a few days, and I really like it so far. So let me go ahead and review it. First of all, I'm going to tell you how it works, then I'm going to tell you my thoughts about it, and I'm going to tell you the pros and the cons, and where you can go ahead and play. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So basically, how it works is you go ahead and buy in. I'll go ahead and play the video so you guys can see me playing in action. This is a recording that I did a few days ago. But what you do is you buy in, and the buy-in amount is up at the top left corner right here. So it's a live table, which is basically a cash game. And the buy-in is $7.50. What happens is the software divides that buy-in into three little buy-ins of $2.50, or just a third of whatever your initial buy-in was, whatever limit that is. So what you do is you just play a bunch of games of where your where your stack is a third of your buy-in, so $2.50 in this case. What you do is you sit down at a shorthanded table with you against 5 other opponents, and all 5 of those opponents are computer players. Now, for real money, you're up against one other player, and a real money player who's basically someone just like you, who's wagering money. And what you guys do is you guys get the exact same hands, the exact same cards, the exact same position against the exact same opponents. And, you guys play the exact same hands. So, for example, with this ace-jack here, I would go ahead and raise, and let's just say my opponent folds. We'll be in the exact same spot, but we play the hand differently. So, because my raise is good there, I would have won the small blind and the big blind, and because he had folded, he, didn't win anything. It was just 0. So, what happens is on this left-hand corner, you can see this chart. It tells you the hand and the hand number, what the hand was, how much you won or lost, and how much your opponent won or lost. And what happens is they take the difference of that, and they go ahead and have a running total of how much you owe the opponent, or how much they owe you. So, for instance, with the ace-jack hand, I guess in real life, I raised it and won 8 cents. But somehow my opponent won 23 cents. I think he limped or something, and then played post-flop and got maybe 1/3 of value out of it. So he goes ahead and he has a 15-cent surplus in that hand because he won 15 cents more than I did. So what happens is I have to owe him 15 cents for that hand, and we just do a running total of that, and we play out at least 30 hands every single game. The software makes you play 30 hands against your opponent, so people don't just play one hand and leave. So you play 30 hands, and then you can play more if you want. It has a little pop-up, and you just click yes, I want to play more. But you have to play at least 30 hands, and if you decide to quit before 30 hands, then the computer just folds you every hand, and basically whatever your opponent wins or loses, is how much you owe them or how much they owe you. So that's kind of like the overall gist of everything. It basically comes down to winning money is based upon how much skill you have, how much you can outplay the computer players better than your opponents can. So if you lose more than your opponent does against the computers, you lose more money, and if you win more against the computers, then you win more against your opponent, and that's kind of just how it works. So what are my thoughts on SkillBet so far? I think it's a very unique form of poker, and I really like it so far. It's really interesting. It's poker, but it's not really poker at the same time. How you make money is different than all the poker games that you're used to. I wasn't sure if I would like it at first, but I tried it out and I really like it. I prefer normal poker, but every now and again I really feel like playing this. I mean, it's very fun. It's very addictive because it's like poker, and you use poker concepts, and poker, it's basically poker, but you make money differently. So, it's really fun to play. It basically feels like cash games, kind of mixed with heads-up sit-n-gos, and mixed with TV poker. And the reason that's the case is because you play a shorthanded cash game against the computer, but you're really heads up against a real life opponent. And the cool thing is you get to see exactly how he plays the hand. And on top of that, if he loses, if your opponent keeps losing, then you get to keep all of his losses, which I think is awesome because most people suck at poker, at least on this site. So it really isn't as much about how good you are at poker, but how well you can use poker concepts to exploit the bots. And like I said, it's very fun and addictive. And to be honest, like most opponents, you can just sit there and fold every hand while your opponents just bluff off their stacks, and you can just collect money. It's that easy. But I like to play just kind of like a solid, tight, aggressive game. And I've been trying to figure out ways to exploit the bots better. But I play a very tight style, and the opponents here just try to like out bluff the computers and do ridiculous stuff, and they lose so much money. So I deposited like $10 the first day, and I ran it up to $75 within 2 days. So it's pretty easy to make money on this site. You just basically play really tight and solid, and your opponents will do a lot of crazy stuff and make you a lot of money because they lose a lot of money. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros and the cons. I'll go ahead and start out with the pros of the site. The first big pro, the thing that I really like about it, is that it's 100% legal in the USA. It's not like these other USA-facing sites that aren't legal. You don't have to go over these huge financial hurdles to deposit money and withdraw money, and it's like run and regulated and everything in the USA. So it's 100% legal in the USA, with a few exceptions of a few states. But I'll have another video about what you can do there if you happen to be one of those states. Not only is it legal in the US, but it's also legal in Canada. And as of this video, which is about a week and a half after the site was released, as it just came out like a week or two ago, they're actually looking to expand it to the rest of the world as well. So in the next few weeks, look for that. There's talk about that going to happen pretty soon. So I don't know when you watch this, but check it out, and probably be legal in your country by the time you watch this video. The cool thing is you can deposit via PayPal or credit card. So I don't know if you've been in my shoes where you've tried depositing post Black Friday with your credit card and nothing ever works. You have to go through all these weird routes, going down to gas stations and buying prepaid gift cards, and transferring money through Western Unions to random people in the Philippines. Just all sorts of weird stuff. You don't have to do that here. Remember, it's 100% legal. So you can literally just transfer it in from your bank account, like through your credit card or debit card, or you can use PayPal. And it's super easy, and it's instant. You can just instantly start playing. That also means that cash outs are super easy and free if you use Jwala. And what Jwala is basically kind of like a PayPal type site. You just verify your bank account with Jwala, and it basically acts as a payment processor that transfers all the funds to your account. So I really like Jwala so far. I just got it set up. The one thing is you have to wait a few days for Jwala to approve your account. Not your Jwala account, but to verify your bank account with Jwala. So just be aware of that, but it's really not a hassle at all. It just takes like 2 or 3 days. But yeah, it's really cool because if you withdraw anything $10 or lower, it's completely free. But if you withdraw anything over $10, it's only 25 cents that you have to pay with Jwala. Obviously, it's free to withdraw from SkillBet, but Jwala is very, very, very reasonable to withdraw. It's not like these other sites where you have to pay $50 to get a check within 5 weeks or something. You basically get your money, within a day or two, or it depends. If you do it instantly through Jwala, I guess it's fairly instant. But through a check, it takes a few days. But if you think about all the other sites, it takes weeks, if not months, to get your money off. So if you're gonna go with real money poker right now, I think this is a really viable option since it's 100% legal in the U.S. and money is so easy to get on and off the site. So I would try it out if I were you. Another good thing that I really like about it is there's lots of fish who log in, and they just try bluffing the computer all day, and they just dump you all their money. So many players you can just fold every hand to make money basically, and it's there's a lot of players who are just trying out the site and they completely suck, and you can just sit there and collect their money. It's very easy. It's basically as if you were an online casino and people were just logging in to gamble and play blackjack or roulette or something, and you just sit there and collect their money. You just, as long as you just play tight and solid and don't do anything stupid, people are just gonna send money your way. And if they happen to be a solid tight player as well, you just go ahead and don't play with them. That's the cool thing, is it's like heads up sit and go. I'm sorry, it's like a heads up sit and go in a sense that you can see who you're going to play beforehand. So regs kind of avoid each other, and like good players kind of avoid each other. But you just basically wait and look for fish that join the site, and you just play them like that. But I don't really like heads up, to be honest, especially heads up sit and goes. So that's good for me to playing on the site, because basically you play it as a short-handed game, but it has all the positive aspects of the heads up sit and go as well. So you can the one really good thing about this site that I know a lot of people will really love is there's really no such thing as a bad beat. I mean, you can have get all in aces pre-flop and lose, but the thing is your opponent will get aces all in pre-flop as well and lose. So you might lose your entire stack, but so does your opponent. And remember, you make money by having the difference between the two winnings and losses be higher on your side. But the thing is, if you guys both lose $2.50 or whatever, then you guys don't lose anything. And so that's really cool. I like that feature a lot. It really comes down to the skill level. If you're better at exploiting the bots than your opponent, and basically like these coolers and bad beats don't really affect you at all. So I really love that a lot. And I think the best part about it is you can literally try out SkillBet for just $10. That's what I did. I just deposited $10, and within 2 days, or about like 4 hours or maybe 5 hours to play, ran it up to $75. So that's 7.5 times increase in just a few hours. I don't know if I can do that in the long run or not, just playing the super low limit games, but the site was really easy. So I definitely think that I could have a day or two like that again, and there's a lot of money to be made on this site. So, I mean, I was hesitant at first to deposit money, but it was only $10, and I'm very happy that I decided to go ahead and try out this site. So let's go ahead and talk about the cons now. There's a couple of things that I don't really 100% like about the site. The first thing is just that it's played inside of a browser. You don't download any software. Some people may or may not like that. I don't really like it, but I think for a site that runs inside of a browser, they do a pretty good job. There's no real problems that I've ran into. I just, everything looks clean and professional and nice. I'm just really not used to it, and it's kind of annoying having it running through a browser sometimes. But I think for most people, they won't really mind. And some people, if there's a new site up, they don't want to go ahead and download all this software onto their system because they don't 100% trust it. So running it through a browser might actually be a good thing for some people, but other people it might not be that big of an issue. So, whatever. The one thing, just because I'm making this video about a week or week and a half after it launched, is there's not that much traffic on the site just yet. And that's, obviously just because it's a new site. But there's still quite a bit of games that run, all throughout the day and at night, U.S. times. It's not really that big of a deal, though, that there's not that much traffic, because the traffic that does come, most of them are fish. And the thing is, you play it kind of like a heads-up sit and go. So it doesn't matter as long, if there could be hundreds of thousands of people, or there could be, one person on the site. As long as on your table you're playing the one fish, it doesn't really matter how many people are playing, because, you don't have, it's not like other sites where you have to, sit at tables and wait for the whole table to fill for like a 4-ring game or something. It's not like that at all. You basically just either start a table or you find a fish already at a table, and you get games started up really fast, because it's literally just you versus someone else. It's like heads up poker in that aspect. So that's not that big of a deal, but it's just something to consider as a negative for the site. The one thing that really kind of bothers me a little bit, it's not that big of a deal, but it is a little annoying is they charge you $3 to deposit money. I understand why they do it, just because, it's a new site, they need to make money. But I would prefer if it was free to withdraw. Or, I'm sorry, to deposit. The good news is that it's free to withdraw. So, if you're depositing money, then it's not a big deal. Like, I deposited $10 plus 3, so it's 13, and I ran up my stack much bigger than that. So in the long run, it was way worth it for me. But if you think you're going to be depositing a lot, you should probably deposit closer to the max, so the fee isn't that much of a percentage of whatever your deposit is. But withdrawals are completely free, and the Dwala account costs like 25 cents for each transaction that's over $10. So it's really not that big of a deal. It's just something to be aware of. Another thing that kind of sucks is setting up a Dwala account for withdrawals takes a few days to verify, but after that it's very quick. I mean, if you don't set up your Dwala account right away, don't expect to get your money the next day. Just whenever you set up your account, just set up your Dwala account as well, and it'll take 2 or 3 days. And once that's all set up, everything will basically be instant. And for anyone that has used PayPal before, it's basically the same way. So I would just go ahead and set it up right away. That's kind of what I did, and it was pretty pain-free. And the last thing is that, I already mentioned it, but it kind of just plays from a browser, and some people might not like that, but I don't know. I didn't really like it at first, but I don't really notice it anymore, to be honest, so it's not a big deal at all. So anyway, I hope you guys liked my review. If you guys want to go ahead and download SkillBet, go to nitreg.com/SkillBet, SkillBet, and you can go ahead and deposit there. And I'll have all the bonus options and everything. As of right now, there's no rakeback for the site, and the only real bonus there's a free $5 for challenging people. And if you win, you get the $5. So I'll go ahead and, if you go to nitreg.com/SkillBet, you'll be eligible for that. So go ahead and click that, and thank you guys. This is Nitreg here from nitreg.com, and I'll see you guys at the tables.